Hello everyone, welcome to the end of day wrap here at Pro Tour Dragons of Tarkir. Day one is done and dusted. Rich Hagan with Brian David Marshall. We've got all the news and views from around the big world of MTG. BDM, interesting day one.
Absolutely. I was just talking to Rick Lee. We were talking about his Abzan aggro deck, and it is very, very aggro. Just Sirach the Hunt Caller, following up an Defense of the Foremost, following that up with a hasty Siege Rhino. How is that even fair? But, we saw mono red decks in the top 8. We saw a blue-black mirror match. I don't even know how did that end up?
They're still playing. No, it ran out of time.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was going to end anytime soon.
Right, so you ended up with the one 8-0 player to
there we go, yeah.
the only 8-0 because there are two players who are also undefeated, and that's Felipe Valdivia and Shota Yasuoka. In fact, why don't we get to the big board here? You can see behind us here, this is your top 20 as things stand. There's Rick Lee from Malaysia, fantastic job.
Only playing in his third Pro Tour.
That's correct.
And
yep.
He played in a World Magic Cup. So, not a ton of Pro Tour experience here. Was testing with some friends, a local level 2 judge to prepare for this event. So, people will, be a little bit intimidated by the idea of the super team sometimes. But you do see players who qualify for these events come here and do exceptionally well.
You certainly do. So I've mentioned the control pair who ended up getting the draw at the very end of the day. Shota Yasuoka, who you will know of Japan, Felipe Valdivia of Chile, who basically you won't unless you're super dialed in to the world of Magic the Gathering.
I'm warning you, Rich. You are probably in trouble now.
Really? What have I done?
Well, because Felipe Valdivia did an interview with you on Downtime.
That is correct.
He's like, hey, I'm going to my first Pro Tour. Do you want to talk to me?
Right. And I said, sure, of course I do.
Last week?
That was last Wednesday, yes.
Yeah, and now he's here, 7-0-1, just fought Shota Yasuoka to a standstill in the feature match area. People are going to be clamoring to talk to you before every GP and Pro Tour from now on.
The lucky charm.
You go, yeah, they're going to be like,
lucky charm.
Rub the head.
Rub the ginger hair, yeah, okay. So that's the two of them. Then we get a slew of 7-1s all the way down one side and onto the far side as well. BDM, pick out some of the players here who are at 7-1, who you're excited to see tomorrow.
I'm very, obviously Adrian Sullivan, someone always excited to see him doing well, someone who's been around for a long time. But Stephen Madden is the guy that I'm really excited about. That's the deck I'm super excited about. We did a deck tech with him today. He's from Northern Ireland. Again, only playing in his, I think, second Pro Tour. And he's like, you know what? I've been playing this Strength from the Fallen deck for as long as it's been legal. He's like, I saw Mahito Mahara in Dublin playing with Nick Those Shrines to Nicks, and now that's what I want to play, and I've been playing that ever since. And he built this mono green devotion deck, which is crazy with Strength from the Fallen, kind of a combo deck. If there is one to be found in this format, that might be it. And he's here 7-1. He swept his draft and went 4-1 in Standard today.
Terrific performance also, 7-1 from Denmark. You see there Martin Dang, the Grand Prix Liverpool title holder from just a few weeks ago. He seems to have really hit a sweet spot because 6 months, a year ago, you wouldn't have said this was on the cards and in the cards. And now here he is at 7-1. And then also if we go on to the other side, there are three more, two Americans, Andrew Olschwager, inexperienced Tim Wu, and then Jamie Archdeacon, who's played in a handful of PTs, top 25, I think it was San Juan 2010. Decent performance for him. Only one half of a round behind. Two terrific players, BDM, from the US. Tell us about Jamie Park, Seth Manfield.
Well, Jamie Park has been playing this game for a long time, has 3 Pro Tour top 8s in his career, 3 different decades. He has one in the 90s, one in the early 2000s, and now one in the 2010s. And, he's making a run for it here. Seth Manfield might be the hottest player on the Pro Tour right now. It's he and Eric Froelich really competing for that title. Just been, performing incredibly well at GPs, and now coming off of his first Pro Tour top 8 at Pro Tour Fate Reforged.
Now that's our leaderboard, and you see a handful of 6 and 2s down the back there. Ben Friedman, Eric Froelich, and Kona.
There's Eric Froelich right there.
The teenager from Poland, Piotr Glakowski, and Paul Jackson from Australia. Great job by him to come back. He's a Grand Prix champion, if memory serves, from Australia. But then we get into the whole slew of 6 and 2s. BDM, you've got the list here. Remember, the 6 and 2s go down to 54th place. So all of these players are broadly on par for a top 8 slot.
How about 4 Pro Tour Hall of Famers in a row, or all sitting on the same record in Paul Rietzel, Patrick Chapin, and Jelger Wiegersma, and Ben Rubin.
Wow.
Quietly burning his opponents out.
Wait. Isn't that Steve Rubin?
Oh, that's Steve Rubin. I'm sorry.
There we are.
Okay, Steve
the
Rubin.
Other Rubin.
Yes, the other Rubin.
See, there's too many Rubins, too many Ruels, too many Nakamuras.
Don't tease me about this. I can't take the rub-ins.
Oh my, and it wasn't even rehearsed, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see who else we've got here. How about Craig Wesco? Tom Martell started out 4-0.
Shahar Shenhar, Nam Sung Wook, Joel Larson, Ole Rada, Ken Yukihiro, Martin Mueller. By the way, talk about Danish magic as being this kind of
7-1 and 6-2
rising tide. So
success really does breed success at these things. And in 54th, the last of your 6 and 2s right now, Andrew Cuneo.
And another Hall of Famer for you, Guillaume Wafatapa, who got his ring this weekend.
Terrific collection. So that is where we stand as we head to day 2. When we come back, everyone on 4-4 or better will draft once again. BDM, what we saw this morning, dragons everywhere, but that's flavorful. More importantly, the gameplay of draft was super exciting, and you did not want to miss turns 1, 2, and 3 because it was action from the get-go.
And speaking of dragons, when we get back to standard, there's someone who's been kind of lurking back in the standings. He had a terrible draft. He started at 0-3, Patrick Dickman.
Right.
But he went 5-0 in standard playing Jeskai Dragons.
I think we should get him in here tomorrow. Let's do that.
I'm gonna try.
Most important, let's get you here tomorrow. Thanks for being with us wherever you are around the world, whether you're into your day in the United States, whether you're already halfway towards tomorrow in Asia Pacific, or just looking forward to your Friday night right here in Europe. From Brussels, until we meet again tomorrow, for Brian David Marshall and all the team here at Wizards of the Coast, I'm your host, Rich Hagan, saying bye.